Now, before we talk about the trailer for The Lost City, the newest film from the one and only Guillermo del Toro was released in theaters this past week, and it's called Nightmare Alley. And it follows a manipulative carny as he pairs up with a devious psychiatrist to target the wealthy and influential for money. And like I said, it's from Guillermo del Toro, same director as Pan's Labyrinth and The Shape of Water and Pacific Rim. And I do have to just start out and say, this is not his best film. It's not. Worth the watch, but it's definitely not his best film. Especially when you compare it to, again, Pan's Labyrinth and The Shape of Water. This is not his best film, but I honestly did have, like I said, it was worth the watch. But one of the things that definitely hampered this movie was the fact that it was just a bit too slow. The pacing, like honestly, there were times, especially in the beginning, where I had a hard time just like getting attached or even, I'm going to be on staying awake. You can back me up on that one. And I do honestly believe that this movie could have been about 20 minutes shorter.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Maybe it's not his best work, but at the same time, for me, just I really liked it. If not, yeah, I'm not gonna say love it. I really liked it. I liked the slowness to it because to me, that makes me really need to pay attention a bit more. Really pay attention specifically to certain body language cues and even the tonality of dialogue and what the dialogue is, because in the movie it's all going to come back in some way. And for me, this honestly, it didn't blow me away, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed certain character dynamics and really understanding the human psyche of Bradley Cooper's character as well, even though I felt that he was a bit very predictable in some ways, mainly because I guess for me, it's just easy to pick up on certain things and quickly, and I kind of see where things are going to go before, like 30 minutes before it happens. That's just me. I don't know why. Sometimes I just see that. But, I still enjoyed it. It was still a good time. Definitely thrilling. I wouldn't really say it's horror based. More
It's
just
not.
thrilling, and you just gotta somewhat pay attention. It's really basic, sort of some psychology stuff and behavioral stuff as well when it comes to some of these characters, what they're saying, and you can get a sense of who they actually truly are. And I guess one of the big themes of this movie is deception and how it can really mess with you and corrupt you in certain ways. And again, I like that aspect. The slowness, I like to a certain degree. Bradley Cooper's character, I cannot connect with at all. If anything, I actually did not like his character. And again, maybe that's what they were intending. But nonetheless, I still had a thoroughly good time with this. And I could definitely see you snoozing off because I tried to wake you up.
Yeah, I think it might have been you that actually helped me out in the end with that. But again, it's funny that you mentioned Bradley Cooper and his character. It's weird. I don't know how much I'd say like I like or dislike his character. I don't know if I could exactly say that I was emotionally attached to the character. But again, that could have been what they were going for too, just given the kind of person that he developed into. But again, wherever the strengths and flaws may have been from his character, at least he gave a great performance. He gave a really, really strong performance. Good for him on that. And of course, he's really this movie has a giant cast, but it's really him versus Cate Blanchett, right? And again, she's no slouch herself. I thought she did a terrific job too.
Yep, exactly. I think they all pull their weight in everything, and I guess I have Willem Dafoe on the mind, so as for No Way Home, and we'll get into that. But I thought he was great too. That man, he still got it to this day. So
yeah, he's having a great weekend to say the least. And it's one thing too, like even though like I've said over and over again, like this isn't Del Toro's best film, it still definitely felt like a Guillermo del Toro film for a couple reasons. Like number one, even though this isn't a horror movie, it still has a very chilling atmosphere, which is something that Del Toro is known for doing and doing very well. Another thing he does very well is that he has a way of making like very gruesome imagery look very polished. You know what I mean? Like this isn't like, the Sam Raimi Evil Dead kind of gore. Like, no, this is like a classy kind of gore. You know what I mean? Like if I'm going to gross you out, I'm going to do it with panache. I'm going to do it with style. You know what I mean? I'm not just going to do this very haphazardly. And that's just how he goes about it. I loved how everything looked. Like this movie is gorgeous to look at. Camera work, cinematography, production design, costume design. This movie is definitely a feast for the eyes more than anything too.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely recommend if you just like Guillermo del Toro and his style of work, definitely go check it out. It's worth a watch at least.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. So again, for all you guys that are with us, again, what did you think of Nightmare Alley? And how does it compare with Guillermo del Toro's other films? You know what to do. Leave your thoughts in that comment section, whichever comment section you can.